have some recommendations from you. But before we move on to that discussion, I would like us to have a short introduction of ourselves. Only the name is enough so that we'll be able to know with whom we are having the discussion. My name is Richard Che, so I will ask...
My name is Kofi Badubonsu.
Henry Obinawatu. Jolante.
My name is Ray John.
Caroline,
Kira na Boliga.
Apostle Helen Redokina.
Thank you very much. You're all welcome, and as custom demanded, you drink something, and then for us to be able to, for the fraternity to continue. So I hope everyone has had something, and some drink is enough to, as a kind of welcome, as tradition demands. This program will be successful if we have some people to lead us, as we all need some leaders are always important in every small gathering in every community. So I would like to invite Mr. Jolante from State Akasanoma to have a seat, and also Mr. Kofi Badubonsu to also have a seat to help us out with the discussion. So let's welcome them. Permit me to also take my seat so that yeah. So the whole discussion is about poverty among Ghanaian youth. That's what it has been entitled, and it came about in 2012 when the poverty and the Amsterdam's commented. They have this poverty department. They found it through their statistics. It came out that Ghanaian youth, 48% of Ghanaian youth are living below the poverty line, which means that the minimum wage, they are living below that minimum wage. So it means Ghanaian youth, and actually, as I always explain, that the statistics was based on the householders, those between 0 to 17 years. That was the age group. Based on that age group, that they came out with this statistics. So in the household with a family, maybe parent, mother or father, and the children. So the children who are between 0 to 17 years, out of them, 48% are below, living within that poverty line. So it's a problem, and I think the Amsterdam community has come out with a project to be able to help deal with this problem. And as we all know, most Ghanaians live in Amsterdam Southeast. So radiovoiceofnaija is also part of this program and this project to help disseminate the information. And some of the topics which have been discussed so far are poverty among Ghanaian youth and migrant churches, that is, migrant churches perspective, and the economic and business perspective on poverty among Ghanaian youth, church youth and the poverty issue, cause, effects and proposals, and then youth and parents. My question anyway, I have to welcome panelists. You are welcome to this roundtable discussion. So they are the panelists. They are going to do more of the talking, but the talking also will be coming from all of us, so that at the end of the day we come out with some recommendations. So is it really do we really need, my first question to our panelists, do we really need to discuss this poverty issue? Is this really an issue to be discussed? I will begin, Mr. Kofi Badu.
Well, I think the question has been arising since a long time, and I think it is important to tackle the issue, because it's an issue which is affecting the whole population, not only the youth, the age of up to 17 that you mentioned, but it concerns everybody. It concerns all the migrant population in the southeast. But we have noticed that the youth the youth are mostly affected by this situation, and I don't call it the poverty of the youth, because they are not originators of this problem. It's really a form of crisis. We can well define it as the crisis of the youth here, because they are not responsible for being poor. They are not responsible for going through all this situation of poverty, crisis affecting them in the schools, affecting them at home, affecting them on the streets, affecting them in so many gatherings, social gatherings. So it's an issue which must be treated in depth. It's not an issue which must be discussed. It should be treated in depth, and I think there should be a platform which will take into consideration all the parameters of the problems affecting the youth.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi and Mr. Lamte.
Well, if I'm to complement what dear brother has said, for what we all know, we regard the youth as future leaders. And by the time you see a group of people, the future leaders, when you get to know they are confronted with this kind of challenge, I would regard it as suicidal if you have to ignore the dangers ahead, because anything that goes wrong with the so-called future leaders, then of course you, the older ones, have no future. So of course my answer to your question, if this issue requires some level of discussion, is emphatic yes. It's as simple as it.
Thank you very much. So I think the issues it has been followed since it started the beginning of this year and all this. My question, we are getting to the end of the year, and the question, how do you see how it has been tackled? Is it the appropriate way from your own perspective, personal opinion, how it has been tackled? If you know of any of the ways that it has been tackled, like radio, this information dissemination of this problem and other ways. In your opinion, Mr. Kofi, as it Mr. Bedu Bonsu, is it in the right direction?
Yes, I think.
Of solving the problem.
Yes, I think, because every problem has different angles, and well, when a problem needs to be solved, well, we have to tackle it from all the angles. So it's a very good approach to the pending problem affecting the youth.
Okay, and I think I will then move a bit further to my question. So what are some of the ways that you have seen or witnessed it being tackled? Some of the ways, practical ways, since the project began.
Well, it has come to observation that there are more and more youth activities. There are more and more youth programs in social activities, and most of the youth are getting awakened, and they are feeling willing to participate in certain social activities, unlike before the beginning of this year. So I think the project is a success, and it must continue.
Yeah, okay. Well, if I would need to mention this, way back in 2013, actually, when this report of the Amsterdam poverty monitor came out, a number of us were involved in meetings with the district council, and we came up with a decision to actually do get documents on the issue of poverty among them. Opinions were sampled, and at the end of the day, of course, we managed to get the documents. And I am aware, at least when you mentioned my name, you did as well mention Stephen Akasanuma.
Yeah.
And Stephen Akasanuma, like Radio.nl, we also have a radio. And we've been involved from day one in the whole idea of doing something about this issue that confronts the youth. Your question was if what is being done is the right approach. I think it cannot be done otherwise. It's all hands on deck issue, and we've been all over the place. Different organizations, besides radiovoiceofnaija, we've been doing a lot of activities, all in line with the objective to see how we could come up with some ideas on how to tackle the problems that faces the youth. We on our part as a community-based organization, that is SMA, we've organized also brainstorming sessions, we've done workshops, or on this issue. Now, I think what we will need, very relevant to this, is to do an impact, assessment that we can do today. But when that is done, we will be able to know the extent we've covered with these efforts to come up with some potent, ideas as to see how the problem can be dealt with. The misfortune I think we have is that the issue was taken completely in isolation because the focus was on the youth. But I have argued that you can't deal with the youth without dealing with the parents.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, the youth did not find themselves in this country on their own.
Yes.
Some people were responsible for the presence of most of them. Either they were born here or brought here from outside this country. And the moment you disengage the parents and you want to deal with it, you have a problem, because at the end of the day, for us as Africans, I think I would not be saying my mind, and I expect there will be doubt about that. When you set up to have a child, of course, that is your investment, and you believe that the child is your future. So no parent, rational enough, will bring a child into this world, and you see the child waste away. So of course, if there is a problem with the youth today, it is because there is a disconnect between the home and the child, and that some of us blame it on the system, which is also responsible. I'm not saying it's a total case. We have some exceptional where children are here, but they don't belong to that poverty bracket, thing we talk about. So the issue is still worth being looked at in totality, not just the youth, because there are parents who are responsible for this. So I think it should be looked at. By the time we do the impact assessment exercise, we will know what more has to be done.
Thank you very much. The problem of poverty, I think, is, as before mentioned, is multidimensional, and it has to be tackled holistically. And if it has to be tackled in that way, which means that we have to look at the macro and the meso and micro levels. So the macro level I consider is in terms of the state or the institutions, the state institutions, and at the meso level I tend I'm referring to the ethnic organizations, and the micro level at the individual level, the parents and the youth themselves. So from the state level, if we are now going to go into the details of this poverty project and poverty alleviation, dealing with the poverty among the youth as we tackle this, we named it. At the state level, Mr. Badubonsu, taking it one by one or step by step before the audience coming. How can the state help in dealing with the problem, and how is the state helping in dealing with the problem? So I'm asking two questions in one.
Well, we have to observe that the youth did not come to this country by their own, as my brother just mentioned. And the state knows that the youth are here. I don't say that only the state is responsible for the youth, but the parents, as my dear brother mentioned, the parents are also responsible.
Okay, I will actually come to the parents as well. I've divided the problem into 3 parts. That is, now I'm tackling the macro level, that's the institution. Then we move to the ethnic organizations like the Akasanoma and other organizations. Then we go to the individual level where we come in the parents and the children. So I would like us to stay focused now on the state and then deal with them, and then we will move to. Thank you.
Well, the state is quite aware of the problems of the youth in all the communities, especially the migrant communities. But I think it is not possible for the state to disengage itself from this pending situation, this difficult situation of the youth. Who have lost, most of them who have lost their bearing because they don't know where to find solutions, professional solutions, social solutions, economic solutions, intellectual solutions, and all that. So I think the state must come in and act effectively in trying to address the issue of the youth. It is very important.
Thank you very much. Mr. Delante.
Well, I think earlier I did mention meetings we had with the district council here in Southeast. That is an indication that the state, if we call it that way, represented by the district council, which is at the local level where we are, is already involved, because I'm sure those on the side of radiovoiceofnaija would agree with me that funds have been made available for some of these activities, and resources is out there. And for that matter, the state is equally okay owning up on the issue of finding solutions to it. I think when we also talk about poverty, you are only talking about absence of resource, and resource either financial or material means. And how do you get this? It is either you have a job, you have the income. And for that matter, if you say somebody is poor, and it's all about your ability to afford, needs, essential needs for your living, then of course you talk about jobs. And in this country, we all know who is looked upon when it comes to job availability of job. Now, there is now what we call this emphasis on maybe taking your applications and looking for jobs. What is more important is the enabling environment, and the enabling environment to mean the government should be able to create opportunities for people to tap into. So it's now a question of what are the environment, opportunities on the ground like for the youth now we look at to be able to tap into and turn things around for themselves. So that is exactly where the thing is, and the government, my close relationship with some in authorities, they think there are still, gray areas where the youth should be able to explore and be able to turn certain things around. Now, some of us have been concerned as to these youth who are being regarded as employable. Well, that was what the report also said. The report said this number of youth who are unemployed today, they have qualifications, they are employable, but the jobs they don't have. Now, you could ask yourself the question, what kind of qualification do they have? Did they actually, at the point of choosing their careers, did they think about jobs that are relevant today? And for that matter, they did take a career which there's likely to be a guarantee when you have finished your studies. So these are the analyses we now have to do. Those who are not having jobs, do they have qualifications that are tailored, okay, to today's job opportunities? It is there, and then we will know what definitely must have gone wrong.
Thank you very much. My last question then I open to, so we put the meso and the micro together, and then we need the floor for the audience. Yeah, very little time. So, the big boys, sorry for always looking people to. Yeah. Now we move to the parents and ethnic organizations put together and what they are doing to help and how they can do more to help deal with the problem of poverty.
May I interrupt here? The rest of us who are here, we're supposed to participate in the discussion because we also have ideas and thoughts we want to share together with other panel. So please make that possible so that they can.
Yeah, actually,
that's what he said.
He said that.
You just said that. Okay, I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Botibo, you can continue.
Yeah, well, the contribution of the parents and the contribution of the youth is indispensable so that we come to a solution. The parents cannot do it alone, and the youth cannot do it alone. So it's a question of both the parents and the youth coming together and by means of socializing, by means of transferring the knowledge from the parents to the youth, and for the youth also to transfer what they have learned in this new society, because they have come to a new culture which is not theirs. The migrants have come to live in a new culture, so it's a cross-cultural situation that they have come to live, and it needs to be explained. It needs to be explained by the parents who brought them. It needs to be explained education-wise. They need assistance to understand because they belong to two cultures, two polar cultures, and they have come to live in it, and it is new to them. And so that they can get stabilized in this new society, they need to understand both cultures very well in terms of language, in terms of historical experiences, in terms of intellectual, academic backgrounds and all that. They have to be confident with themselves. And if they are able to be confident with themselves, if they are able to discover the new society, the rules, the regulations of this society, well, they wouldn't have any impediment, they wouldn't have any obstacles in breaking through intellectually, in breaking through in looking for work, in breaking through in looking for social contacts. They will feel self-confident. That is what I wanted to do.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I think the little we did in terms of brainstorming, on the issue, you'll be surprised to know that even the youth, supposedly, either born here or came here very early, a lot of them still have problems within the Dutch language. Having a good command of the language. And there are certain jobs, of course, these days we are told job opportunities will change, moved away rather from manufacturing into service-oriented, market. And there, the language skills you need very much. So it is one thing to get a job, but keeping the job is another thing. You may get a job today, tomorrow, if you are found incompetent, you are likely to lose the job. And so that's one area our youth they are confronted with. Second is the issue of peer pressure. I think a lot of our youth are living far beyond their means. Obviously, ostentatious life. Some, you see the kind of things they carry, where the parents themselves will not even dream, necessarily. They've been here before some of them were born, but the parents are not even desirous about those things. So that's another area. In short, there's this moral decadence, I call it. The children, most of them probably, I've said this on another platform, that unfortunately, some see their parents because probably they don't speak the Dutch language. They think they are more smarter or wiser than the parents themselves. But of course, we are told that experience is the best teacher. So it's not the Dutch language you speak, it's not the school you go to, but of course, practically, the challenges some of them are facing is because they are living in a world of fantasy, I call it. Complete disengagement from the parents, because some, maybe in their household, the parents cannot speak Dutch or even simple English. But of course, you cannot break that one. So I think there should be connection between the household, parent, this issue should be worked on solidly. And then, of course, some of these problems will be seen early enough before it gets to a point that we are now discussing. So I think that area, we need to work on that seriously.
Thank you very much, my panelists. Now, I think we've all heard, follow the discussion, and I would like each and every one of us to contribute to what's the ongoing discussion. So each one is free to contribute by raising up your hand here.
I have a question. I want to understand more what the age group is about, because I believe my information is not yet up to date, fully in this discussion, because I was out of the country. When you talk about the youth, as you were discussing about being poor, what I heard is 0 to 17 years. Am I right with this information?
You mentioned that, but I think the issue is the report stated, clearly that youth who are employable. So when you talk about youth who are employable, those who are done with their studies, and that takes you far beyond the 17 years, actually. So it's not about the 17 necessarily. I think those who are really done and they are employable. That means they qualify to be employed.
Then you see, the one thing I think I will go within the youth. I will try to give a contribution based on the youth. I believe, you see, one thing I've always said, you can only integrate into the system, not only by speaking the language. You see, the fact that we both may be Ghanaians or Nigerians or whatever doesn't mean we understand each other. You see, when you integrate in the system, you really need to integrate. When a Dutch person who you are sitting in the classroom with is doing social activity, doing volunteer work, yes, and your parents, you see, that is, I want to make it a weave going to each other. Within our community, we don't understand what is called a volunteer work. It's very important.
Before the organization I mentioned a while ago at the Salima Foundation, we had a community-based organization, a Ghanaian community-based, we call Sikaman Foundation. Now, he happened to be the chairman of the youth wing of Sikaman Foundation. Now, today I can tell you that at Salima, I have personally tried so much to bring a lot of youth onto the organization. They come when they realize that voluntary thing means you spend your time and energy without money. The next day they are gone, they don't come back.
Exactly.
And that is the fact. Yeah.
How does that happen?
Sorry?
The question is, how does that come to pass?
Yes, I've mentioned the issue of ostentatious life.
No, let me say something, please. I think I would like to add something.
Let him finish.
I believe when I was doing what you were saying I was doing,
Yes.
I will go out to youth fair to Rotterdam
I know.
and seeking for things for the community. And I'll come back and my mama will ask me, who are you doing this for?
Yes.
But then she will tell me, that is your drive, so go ahead.
Yes.
How about the other parents?
That's your mother.
That's what I want to do.
Thank you
That's
very
what I want
much.
to do. That's the point I want to do.
So now we move to Apostle. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I buy to the question account that Ray was talking about. Charity begins at home. If we are talking about the migrant youth, especially the Ghanaian youth being impoverished, there must be a reason. I heard Mr. Lambda say that it could be because of ostentatious lifestyle. We have the youths here. We have them, they are here. So if they are living a life of ostentatiousness, then they have to let us, they have to tell us what is really behind the poverty which they are going through. Because this research came up that they are in poverty, And when we look at them from a spiritual point of view, when I look at them in the church, I don't see any mark of poverty in them. So when we look at them from a physical point of view, the way they dress more than us, they wear expensive hair more than us, they use all the smartphones and you know, the modern technique, they use it more than us, so they don't portray any poverty. But it could be that somehow these people, when they measure their poverty, it is like a child who is not capable, or a youth who is not capable of doing what he or she wants to do at his or her own time. Like they want to go on vacation, and that youth may not be able to partake in that vacation. They want to go on a trip, and this youth is not able to pay. So that could be what they are defining as being in poverty. We have them here. I think it would be very nice that we sample 3 youths, and then let them tell us what could be the source of your poverty. Are you really poor? So those of you who are youths here, please raise your hand. Let's see. Youth, yes, honey, you are yes. If you are less than 35, if you are below 35, please can you raise your hand? All right. So now we want you to tell us, what is the source of your poverty?
Are you poor?
Are you poor?
But before they answer the question, let's clarify some things. Some of the youth, maybe they are still on the bill of their parents.
It's true.
So if I'm able to get the best for my child, and you look at the child as decent enough, and then it means the child is not poor. That's another angle. Yes. So let's be very careful we don't get misled.
Let me go to the second question. The second question that was raised had to do with accountant Ray. Yeah. That if youths are not doing voluntary work, who is supposed to be blamed? I think charity begins at home. If a youth gets up and sees the parents not working very hard, if a mother or a father is not working hard, every time you are just in the home and this youth is going and seeing you're not working hard, this child will grow up being a lazy fool. Exactly. Secondly, if a child grows up, like when I was growing up, I saw that my parents, my 2 parents, were seriously committed in the community work. They are so into voluntary work that they applied themselves into serving the community. And today we can talk about the blessings that are coming. And when you are going, and then people are telling you, your father, your mother raised me, your father raised me, this one trained me, this one sponsored my education. It is a pride. So if parents begin to do voluntary services, I believe when their children grow up, they will do the same thing they have seen their parents doing. The reason why our kids, our youth have been denied good jobs, as you are saying, is that while they are in school, they don't seek to do any voluntary service, any voluntary work. Meanwhile, we see that the Dutch people, they are flying to Russia, they are flying to Zimbabwe, they are going to Nigeria, they are going to Africa just to go and do voluntary work in a hospital or in a company. They just want to go. They save their money for that purpose. So in the process of going to these places, the network is building up. They are being connected to people. So once they graduate from their course, somebody is already giving them a job. But if our own don't apply themselves into working and they have no network, by the time they graduate, their network is zero. Is zero. They have nobody they can call upon, and you can write your CV and have the best CV. But what is really now is networking. If somebody knows you and knows you, the person easily connects you. So let our youths come out of their coziness and then do something. Even if you grew up in an environment where your parents, they don't believe in voluntary work, you can go and begin to do something. I round up by this. I heard accountant Ray telling one of our church members a young lady, that's her here. So she was telling the girl, Christabel, yesterday, she was telling Christabel, was it yesterday? Yes. He said, apply yourself, go and do something. Begin to look, gather youths of your age and do something in the community. You can start from reading letters for old people, doing it voluntarily, and before you know it, that gives you credibility. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I want to give just a little bit of my opinion here. Most of parents made up their mind that this is a seed that I have planted, so I have to reap it. So, in my country, we have cocoa. They have planted cocoa, so they have to harvest the cocoa. But your child is not that. The happy life of your child is yours. All what you have to do to help the child, and yeah, you can do anything to let your child know you better. This is what I am. I'm not pushing you all that much, but to educate yourself, to do something for yourself, brings you in future a good mother or a good father. I put myself there for all the youth, all the children. I've been everywhere. I'm a volunteer worker. I've been a supervisor and a primary school supervisor. I've been doing that since here and then in the UK. When I was here before, it came that my language, the Dutch language, I've been, the last time I get angry, I've been somewhere and I knew what I want. I was telling this person, this is what I'm talking about. But the person told me, you're absent, and I said, look here, do you have a knife? Turn my tongue around, you can't do it. Do you know how my language I speak? I know what I'm asking. So I get bored and angry, so I packed my children and I sent them there. But everything I went there and did was very successful, and I said, no. Whoever fights and run away is a loser. So I'm going back there and show them that this is me, this is what is in me, and I can change many people. Now look at that. I'm not saying this to just be proud of myself, but I want to tell you something. By so doing, I started from these little ones, supervising them from primary school.
Yes.
Everywhere I am. Now there is a kind of a place called Beaumont. Whenever I have a history, I have something there. Everywhere in exhibition center, when you say Mrs. Ajidebi, any child, any grandparent, they know who they are talking about. Yes. I am doing that also here. Now I have 240 children. When I have students and send them back. Yes. Saturdays, I walk on the street and I see them. What are you doing? Oh, Auntie, today is Saturday, and I say, it's Saturday, you can do something. From Monday to Friday, you have done something, but you have to go and meet someone. If you think that you know enough, go and help someone. So by so doing in friendly way, I send them there. As a weekend college, they have there to have their classes, to meet other children, to help them with their homeworks and everything. These children, they are very happy they are doing it. But then the parents will go and say that, yeah, why don't you go and bring something? I send you to school. I came here, I've been doing cleaning jobs, and you have to be there. They're pulling their children, asking them, are you going to be a doctor? Are you going to be an engineer? No, I never say that. I ask them, do you have something in mind? What are you going to do in future? They tell me, I say, okay, with God, everything is possible. So I'm going to help you. We've been together, and let us do this. With education, you're going to have your better, a bright future. So go ahead, you help yourself, help someone, and tell me what you want. I will push you and help you. This is me, this is what I do. But there is other parents, they at home, they see me as somebody that I don't care. I'm okay with that. I know that in my heart, I was born to help the wicked side.
Let me interject now. I need everyone to hear the young people, so please get them on the floor. Let's hear it. Yeah? You want to talk?
You can talk.
Oh, okay.
Young people, give me a handful here. So.
Come again?
Yeah, I think you can pinpoint them now that you want to talk.
Well, yeah, basically, we are talking about you now. So if somebody is talking about you and you're not speaking what is right, you have every right to get up and speak for yourself. So let me see the young people. Please get up and rise up to your people. Yes, yes. You are, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Eh?
19.
Yes. And then this one too. Get up. My darling, get up. Also, get up. Okay, now, there is, what we're talking about, have you followed the discussion so far? Eh? What do you think about what we are saying? Does that in any way affect you? Do you think what we are saying makes sense? Do you agree or do you disagree? Okay, let's start with the lady at the back, the 90-year-old the young lady. I'm sure you have missed something, right? Yes, you're mad. Yes, just give us your take on what's going on.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear everything and hear everybody's input, but I'm 19, that's my dad right there, and I think my parents, that's my mom by the way, so I think my parents did a pretty alright job, and I wouldn't say that I'm in poverty, and I wouldn't say I'm missing out on life, and I would, as Mr. Champon just mentioned, advise you to do something next to their school, which is either work or some kind of something that can just help you build yourself and maybe also help you to find out what you want to do in the future. So, yeah, I don't think I can maybe pinpoint the exact thing, but.
Okay, but basically, you have been well raised, but if you look across the board,
yes, please.
Let's say Ghanaian youth or let's say migrant youth here in Southeast or from the north, we come from the north.
Yes,
but in Amsterdam,
yeah.
Do you get a general feeling that they're all well off and they're doing well, they're heading for somewhere good in future? Or you think there are problems? You see some of your colleagues at school. What is your sense of the thing? Because that is what they are trying to let us know. I know some parents really don't accept it, but whether we accept it or not, I mean, yeah, the reality we can't really change. But what is your perception of what you see generally?
Well, honestly, as you just mentioned, we live in Amsterdam North, so I don't really know Ghanaian youth. But I go to the University of Amsterdam, and what I do know is that I don't see them there.
You don't see them there? You don't see them there? Okay. That speaks a lot. Okay, Mrs. Slante wants to say something. Let's hear Mrs. Slante out. And then another youth, and then we're done.
Well, they're talking about the youth here. But if I should say it, it's not their fault. The system of education here in Holland is completely different. It is not money that pushes you to the university. It is your brain. So right from the common entrance, they place the children. And from there, you can rise to the university. And most of our children, if I should say, I should put it out, most of our children, they flop right from the common entrance.
Here, you mean?
Yes. Most of them.
Why do they flop? Is it that we don't, as parents, we don't give them the support they need while they're learning and studying?
If I should put it that way, because in homes, you meet a lot of problems.
Yeah.
A lot of problems, which doesn't stimulate the child to read. And because of that, the children, right from their common entrance, they flop. Instead of rising up to gymnasium or FBO, you observe that they are giving the low mark.
Yeah.
Wow. And if a child has to rise, then you have to work very hard.
Yes.
Which we don't have it. Why don't we have it? Most of them are from broken homes. Secondly, the poverty level on our side, the immigrants, is also so high. And poverty, most parents are not working. The children are seeing it. And there's so much distraction of the children. So right from the secondary, you see they are not pulling up. The child ends up with FAMBO.
Okay.
FAMBO, you have a long way to go.
Thank you. Now, let me, because of time constraints, I want, based on what she has just said, can we construct or can we propose 1 or 2 recommendations which we can take further and say, okay, this is what the parents who got here tonight think can be done to help to correct the situation. Okay, let's hear out.
I have something extra to say. It doesn't happen to only Ghanaians.
Yeah.
I work as a social worker. It doesn't happen to only Ghanaians, but mostly about 75% of the immigrants.
Okay.
We have this problem.
Thank you very much. Yes, Ms. Caroline.
Yes, I was.
Can you bring it to the point?
All right. My name is Caroline. I was about 2 years ago. I had to let my kids attend an extra class with an organization called IBOS.
Yeah, in Amsterdam.
Yeah, in Amsterdam. They are somewhere there in Divendrecht. Well, the two business owners of that organization, they've been in the education system. The guy told us for 25 years.
Yeah.
And he said what is happening is that, just what my sister has just said, it has to do with whatever. I know a child who is very good at mathematics. But if you're very good at mathematics and you're not good at the language, what happens is you cannot even dissect, you cannot even understand the question that is being asked of that mathematics. And therefore you cannot present the answer that is required of you. And therefore a child is giving maybe practice. The man actually told us, if at the end of the day a teacher gives a child practice, don't accept it. That's what
gives you what?
There's different levels of it says if they give your child protect, don't accept it. Bring the child to us. And what they do is they take the child out of the school system environment. Then they test the intelligence of the child in different areas, different aspects. They test the intelligence of the child, and almost always, the intelligence of the child is higher than what they've given the child. And so sometimes they have to help the parent go to court to redress the situation. And sometimes the children are given the level of where they belong, So, but if you're not aware that the bus is expensive, but if you're not aware of that is happening, and he says if they take your child to practice, believe you me, the child will never move forward. That's where the child will end. It will never move forward. So it's something that knowledge, parents have to help their children, and as organizations to get this information, they have to send it, make sure the parents get this information which is happening.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me just add something.
Yeah.
I'm
But young people, we want to hear you.
I've studied here in this country, and what my junior sister said, she's not seeing them. That is something that was told to me 20 years ago. And I'm quite ashamed that today
it's still the same.
Still the same. You see, the issue is the importance of a family. That is the issue. You see, once again, a school teacher might give your child praktijk based on the information they have, which is it is then too late. That is how I see it. Why do we wait for it to become praktijk before we act? You see, we need to start to make choices. It's always a choice. You seek for a child, and God willingly gives you one. Now, once again, you see, I always say to this, somebody of my age, you shouldn't come and tell me you have a problem. Because we all came here around the 1980s, 1990s. I speak fluent Dutch. I was able to go to school. The first generation migrant, my mom, you shouldn't blame. She came here with a different perception of why she's coming here. Seek for a job, earn money, and go back. Unfortunately, life didn't go the way they wanted it. They are still here. Now, the children who are 17, 18, 19, 20, most of them were born here.
Brought here.
Yeah. They have brothers like myself, sisters. So, what I want to emphasize, we need to make a choice. Are we choosing to work 16 hours and not going to PTA meetings or asking for help among each other? You see, the fact that you don't speak Dutch fluently, no. There is somebody at your child's school who is also a Ghanaian who speaks Dutch. Yes. You see, we shouldn't share the problem. The problem is, you see, I have 3 children. I don't like using myself, but I made a specific choice. Please listen. I make a specific choice to bring my children to a white school and let them play in the band. Why? The reason is what I myself went through whilst growing up, acquiring my degrees. And we need to engage ourselves. We need to ask questions at school. Right from group 1. My kids have the same problem.
Okay, let me just review.
So, family is
let me just family. I want to know something here. How many of our kids here are doing the practice or something, or they be giving practice? Let me see.
I'm not sure.
That's not here.
I'm not sure.
Any child here,
can I make a point?
Yes.
Quick one.
Yes.
Honestly, I listened to Caroline.
Yeah.
Ray just said exactly what I had in mind. Most of these issues are the effect. Okay? Incidentally, my daughter is sitting there, the younger one.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, she was going for the C2.
Yeah.
Right?
The C2 is the common entrance.
Yes.
The common entrance.
Now,
yes.
the teacher was torn whether to give a female or half. And I had to go.
Was a new teacher in the class.
I had to go into a meeting with the teacher. He was trying to convince me that he doesn't think the child can do the female. And so he would prefer to give the child a half, okay, at fees. And I said, no, I know my daughter. Give her the female, I know she can do it. Whatever is going on in the school is not the issue. I know her potential, she would do that. Now, I had to sign. They gave her the female recommendation. The C2s, she was one of those who had the highest. That is when you say the highest, the 450 mark. That's her sitting there. You understand? Sitting there. And this is a child I had here, brought up here. Of course, even if we live in Amsterdam North, there are Ghanaians in Amsterdam North. But the home, you have to take your responsibility. Please, the parents will have to know this. Okay? You can't bring a child into the world, he's mentioning 16 hours in a day. Look, whatever it is, as an African, by the time you have a child, I'm sorry to disagree with my sister there. My future is in my child. I don't have any pension. So if I sit there for my child to waste away, that's my problem.
Yeah.
You understand? So all right. Of these parents, we need to know.
Now, let me just ask one thing. You know, we're not going to sit there the whole night. But I know this is a very personal topic, and that's why we're just trying to, fish out what we got to do to begin to address this problem. I think that in this forum we can exhaust it because there's so much going on. Now, let me ask our youth, what do you think we can do to help you so that you can be the best, the best ever? Because all the issues that we're talking about, it's very disturbing. So let's hear from young ladies. Welcome. I'm sure you are aware of the issue playing out here, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. It's about the youth and their performance. Most of them we just said that at the University of Amsterdam, very almost negligible number of Ghanaian youth are there. And so why are we not excelling? What can we do to help our young people do better, attain greater heights? That's our concern. We really want to push you higher. So what do you think we can do? Let's get a few ideas from you guys. Christopher, you want to break the ice? What can we do? What should we do? Nothing. Why nothing?
She wants to say something.
She wants to say something. Okay.
I think that it's very important, as has been mentioned already, that it starts with the parents and it starts from an early age.
Yeah.
So I think, in my opinion, it would be important that as soon as your child starts going to school start doing interactive things with the child and not just like watching TV or playing on the iPad or whichever technology thing you have, which is not really as relevant as maybe reading a book or going out to like going out there and then showing the child, well, this is a pig and this is a chicken and stuff like that can help the child improve on the language. And the moment you improve on the Dutch language, I wouldn't say it becomes easy, but it becomes easier. Because you understand the language, that means you can understand the questions you are reading. The moment you understand the question, you will know what to answer. And the moment you know what to answer, your scores will of course go up because you are giving the right answer. So I think, to me, I know that in my upbringing and in my, coming up, reading was very important to me. And I know that both my parents like reading, and we both have that reading thing. And I think reading is very important. So reading
parental involvement.
Exactly. Going out with them, learning them new things, and just not even staying in the house the whole day. And even if you can't always make the time to do something, just read them a book before they go to bed.
Thank you. What's your name?
Joanna.
Joanna, thank you, Joanna. Okay, I want to hear these beautiful ladies. Tell us something. Will you? Please? Okay, tell us something.
To add to their parental guidance, I think it's very important, especially when the child has to pick the area of study. Because sometimes if the child picks the area of study, the person might not understand exactly what he is going to. So it's the duty of the parent to really discuss what it involves and whatever the child is really going to. For instance, I have a sister, a younger sister, and she chose a particular field. But as time went on, she realized, no, that is not my field. I want to come out. But she realized she has spent some years already. So how do you stop what you have already done? What do you actually do? You get confused at that particular stage. So it's better you know what you want to do right from the beginning before you go into.
But how do you know? Do you know with some guidance? How do you know?
For me, I think it has to do with the child's interest.
Yeah, interest.
And some parents might not really know about the specific field, but together with the teacher, you can really explain to the child, this is what it involves. You know, from the beginning, you know where the child performs well. So that can give you a clue as in what he or she can do. If, for instance, I'm not really good with the Dutch, but if you take a subject area like science, if from the beginning you know your child doesn't really perform well in science, how does the child take a course that really involves science? That would be a problem. So it has to do with the performance from earlier stage, then you would help the child pick
okay, that's fine. All right, thank you. Well, I think this whole thing, well, let's say, my personal suggestion is that we should find a way to keep the discussion going and find a way to get together from time to time to discuss how to solve some of the issues that are bugging us and making us not to really devote and focus the attention we need to give to our children. Because if we don't do that, we are planting a very bad seed, and the fruit will reap, we will not like it. So, you parents who are here, we want to really plead with you. When you leave this place, think about these issues, and want to find a way to get together to take this issue further.
One last.
Chief Gideon wants to say something. Chief Gideon.
I think you're delaying the party now.
I want to make a final point and then it's over. Sorry, the issue is about Ghanaian youth. And my observation, honestly, we are too fragmented as organizations. We can't be talking small group here, small there. I think where we are now, so much has been done in smaller groups. We need to have a platform
to come together
where this issue is discussed once and for all, and we take a very coherent approach where we all agree that this is it. And it's up to whoever will tune into that. Or you fall out. That's the problem. So it's time not to stop these smaller groups and get a platform where Ghanaians will discuss the issue.
I think right now we are kind of we've spread it everywhere. People are aware that the issue is there.
Yeah.
And now we'll get to the next level.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Chief, the last word from Chief. Bristol.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay, thank you very much. Because
Chief, can you give me very brief? Yes,
very,
two lines.
What I want to feel is that it shouldn't be focused only on Ghanaian youth. It will be broadened to African youth. That is what I should say. Let's not say Ghana, Nigeria, but let's say African youth. Okay. Because all the immigrants are suffering the same thing. Like your daughter said, the university alone there, she doesn't see anybody. I did my first degree with masters here, the same thing. When you are in university, nobody, you see nobody to deal with. So what I'm trying to say is, but there's one other thing I feel that we think. The parents think we are just here for a short time and we go back. And because of that, they don't want to involve the children in the main activities here. And it is affecting every one of us. What I'm trying to say is that if you really want to make here your home, you have to make sure everything, every activity, in every sense of it, you must participate in all those things. So that you become part and parcel of the system. If you think you are going back to where you are coming from, it's earlier, you do it earlier. And catch the child young. Don't allow the child to stay here about 20 years, 30 years, you tell her, him or her to go back. Then she will not belong there. Because if you go there, he cannot understand the system. So the culture we are, if we want to belong to this culture, we have to start it as early as possible. And our parents should encourage us to do that. So the youth also, we have to talk to them, advise them, if they want to make here their home, they can become Obama of this place because they will be here in the system. They will follow every activity, both social and everything that is going on. Language is very, very important. And when they are not understanding what is being done, there's no way. So the best thing is, if the person who thinks that he cannot make it here, he has to change as early as possible so that he can also belong to the other side.
No way.
Otherwise, he don't belong to anything.
No way.
In the middle, when you live in the middle, you are nobody. So you have to belong to one side. So that is just my word.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Priscilla, last word.
My honest and advice to any parents that I will please hear that please try to be there. Any meetings in the schools and all that. Some parents, they never have time for this. Let your child be your number one care in your eye, in your heart. Whenever, even if you are not invited, at least every week, try to contact the teacher and know what's going on with my child. And it helps the children. When they see that, oh, my mom or dad is always participating in my life. They love it so much. They like it. And also to the youth, please cut your coat according to your own size. A child and a youth of 15, 16, 18 years old can wear just a coat of 600 euros. And now you are crying that you are poor. Why? Where are you going with it? And they never have enough. You buy it today, next day when they see another shoe, they will buy 200 and all this. I never wear those kind of shoes. I never wear those kind of clothes before. What is their problem? Where are they going? Please cut your coat according to your size.
Thank you. Wow. We have just, broken the, how do I say? We have just started a discussion which will go far. And I think it's good that we are involved now. We're going to end it here, but we're definitely going to pick it up later on. We would like to congratulate a special lady here who's celebrating her birthday and has sacrificed her birthday to be here. And so please, let's rise up and let's say happy birthday to a special lady. This lady is no other person than Mrs. Mercy Latte. Happy birthday to you. Let's rise up. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. May the bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Please come and join your brother as well. Bless you. May the good Lord bless you. We say we want to present you another birthday gift, just to, to sweeten your celebration. God bless you greatly. Shall we give up for that? Amen. Amen. I would love to hello. I would love to give a little talking to our panelists today who have conducted this meeting. As you can see, there's still issues we want to talk about, so we'll defer that another day. But I want you to please help me thank Mr. Joe Lonte. He's a very powerful figure in our community. And I'm sure next time we have a forum like this, you would like to have a waitress. Okay, please help me give a big applause and say thank you very much. Okay, you want to get a photo? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next, Mr. Kofi Bedu Bonsu. Very quiet, a very powerful man. He has been involved in the discussion since we began, and we want to say we appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for taking time out to be here to show that you care about the affairs affecting us all in the community. God bless you, Rick. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Thank you. And then our Evo MC. Thank you for helping to steer this program very, very well. And please, there's some food, so don't go away. There's plenty of food. We make food, so it cannot go to waste. And there's good music coming up shortly. We just want to wrap up this space, and then we'll begin to celebrate a little bit. Richard is a sociologist. He's writing his PhD papers right now. He's doing his research. So if you want to know about everything happening in this community, he knows a lot. He knows a lot. So help me give Richard a big applause. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Okay. For the rest of you, we have plenty to eat and drink. And one sec. Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot something for our speakers. Well, you know what? This is to tell you that you young people, we want you also to become. Hello. We want to inspire our young people to take the platform and to become our speakers. So what we are doing is to inspire all of you. Wherever you are and wherever you are, you can do something. Let your voice be heard. Pick up courage and become a voice for our community. Now, I also want to present to our speakers one more time another extra gift, especially for the Christmas. So, Mr. Lante.
I'm sorry.
For you.
Oh, I thought you gave me something.
Yes. It's a double blessing. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mr. Bonsu also. Bedu Bonsu. Bless you, sir. Enjoy your Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And where's Richard? Richard, where are you?
Yeah, I'm around.
God bless you. Double blessing. Yeah. You don't have to leave the high table. Stay there.
Oh.
We have to.
Okay, let's have some music. Alright. For the rest, just meet new friends, and get exchange contacts. We are planning to eat and drink before we leave this place tonight. Let's have some music. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one quick announcement. I almost forgot. We have hello. We have a gentleman here with a very special message, and so I wanted to give in just 1 or 2 minutes of your time. Mr. Ray, please come. Can you give us your attention for just 1 minute? It's very, very important information. We want to give you, whether you're from Nigeria or Ghana or wherever, please give us your attention. 1 minute. This is our very special information for you. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. All right.
Yes, once again, my name is Ray Champon. I am normally known as Ray Accountant. I've been practicing accountancy in Amsterdam for the past 17 years. But fortunately, God has blessed us with a gift. That is a gift in the health sector. We have established a medical laboratory medicine in Ghana. As of today, we are the only private medical laboratory service in Ghana which is running 24/7 service. We are doing it in partnership with Academic Hospital, AMC, Erasmus in Rotterdam, the Free MC. It's a project that we are doing not only for Ghana. We are now in Ghana in Kumasi. We want to establish this in the whole West Africa. We have a medical laboratory department, molecular biology, which is now the only one in West Africa. You go to Nigeria, it's not there. You go to Africa, it's not there. You go to Togo, it's not there. We are letting everybody know of our existence. If you need any information, if you have your people back home who needs health care service at each level that you know of, now in Ghana, not in Togo, but maybe hopefully in the coming year in other part of West Africa as well. If your family need health care service in Ghana today, please give us a call. You can reach us on www.raybendiagnostics.com or on phone number. I'll be here up to end of January, or my cell phone number will always be on. My number is 0650441639.
I'll let them answer.
Give a contact to Reverend Larry. Anything about the healthcare system in Ghana, at each level, what you are used to here in Holland, we will be able to service you, help you for your family members in Ghana. That is, I think, the little.
Thank you very much. All right, for the rest, yeah.